Hello, and welcome to Little Bit. It's your host, Aiden, and with me today is Grant.
Glad to be here, folks.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. It's a Sunday, and to be honest, recently at work, been working a lot.
Where do you work, Grant?
Currently I work in a hospital in the regional area, and
I didn't know that.
one of the cities, and I just do finance with
Okay.
mutual friend of ours, family friend of ours. So,
But they've been working you?
yeah, and I mean, to an extent, I've kind of learned to enjoy the hard work. So, that's to me is something that I didn't have, I guess.
Yeah.
That I've now kind of acclimated to.
It's bringing it out of you, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, once you get into that kind of mode of productivity, I think it's easier to kind of slip into that kind of, I guess, characteristic.
That's really interesting because, as I've talked to you about, I'm about to graduate, and there's so many things to be nervous about. Like before I even get to the point of being worried about my workload, I'm also worried about like getting the interview, getting the job, writing the resume,
Right.
and just stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the most important thing that I learned from just beginning to start my job is that for your first job, no one expects you to be that guy, to be on it and know everything.
Okay.
At most companies. I mean, maybe if you're hired at, like Google, they're going to want you to be really talented. But most companies, most places and people you interact with, they were there at one point. So
Yeah.
it's hard to see. And, I mean, I was nervous too. I think probably most everybody would be in that kind of situation. But, just remember what you've done through school and be confident in the fact that even being able to get stuff done at school, that's part of those same skill sets translate. Just as far as
that.
being on top of stuff.
That is some good advice. And so, yeah, you've been working for how long again before we...
I think it's been like almost 8 months now, so not very long, but
you started, you're like past the getting your feet wet, like you're kind of into it now, and you feel comfortable with where you're at, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I've worked enough well, we're a smaller department, so I've began to really get good at working with my coworkers and just knowing when I have a little bit of room to run with things. We don't have a whole lot of processes right now that we're doing that are routinized. So it was we had a big merger right before I got on, and two big hospital systems came together, and we're kind of understaffed for that.
Okay.
So there's challenges there, but with that comes a lot of opportunities.
Okay, so you started working 8 months ago, so that means that you started during the pandemic? Yeah, because it's been a year.
Yeah.
So what was that like? I mean...
Yeah, and that was, so... Go ahead.
Sorry to cut, like, one more question, but, like, to add on to that, like, are you doing a lot of remote work, or how does that affect you?
So, I guess I'll start from when I came home from school in the spring. So, we came home from school when they sent everybody back, when the pandemic had just started in February or March, because we went on spring break. They extended it 2 weeks because they figured they couldn't keep people from going to the travel spots,
right?
And then coming back. they extended it, and then they told everybody just not come back. So we went full online.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, and that was interesting territory. Personally, for me, I like to be in person for class and stuff.
A big thing, and I'm sure I'll let you like get onto that, but just like something that reminded me of is these past like 2.5 semesters. One thing that I've learned a lot with these online classes is I asked for help a lot of the time when I still could have figured it out, if that makes sense. Like now it's harder to get in contact with your professor, so you do more on your own, I feel like.
Yeah.
And so that was like a good thing that I got out of it. It was kind of a pain sometimes, but it was a good lesson.
And that's actually that's a skill I think a lot of young workers lack, and I'm trying to get better at, is just go ahead and doing it. And if you do it wrong, that's all right. You know, if you can tweak it, and fix it up. But you know, it's a drag on everyone else if you're asking a ton of questions, right? So they just rather you do it wrong.
That's a big also fear, of course, of getting into the workspace of like asking too many questions. Yeah.
But don't be. I mean, at the same time, you don't want to be afraid too, right?
Yeah,
you know, like,
it's a weird.
It's
balance.
good to ask questions, but you know, you also you get to feel it out. It's like, okay, I have a little room to fly here, and do some stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting 7 months. So, and I mean, I'm excited for what you're doing, starting to apply stuff. So that's, that
is exciting.
It is kind of a fun time. And I mean, really, you're kind of doing, you know, like I was saying, or like you mentioned, you know, like getting a job in the pandemic, because, you know, we're still in it. Albeit, like, we're going to.
I was kind of thinking that it's still going to be a similar, like, to you, it's going to be more similar this year than 2 years ago. Like, yeah.
And really, too, is maybe when people like me were getting into the market last summer, we hadn't really seen the latent effects of what this has done to the economy. Mm-hmm. So there was some hiring freezes and stuff like that when I was looking. But, you know, now some of the jobs that went away might be gone potentially for a while. Just because, you know, it's just, I mean, we've seen businesses shutter. Oh, yeah. I live, you know, on one of the busier districts in the city. And when I first seen that place, you know, it's one of the most popular spots. And it's still a lot of people that walk around, enjoy some of the shops. But, you know, maybe a third of them are closed.
That is.
Because the rent doesn't stop.
Yeah.
But you can't have people in your bar or your restaurant, and it becomes a problem. So
it's very unfortunate.
Make payments.
And I thought of a segue about 35 seconds back. You can probably see me smiling. I was listening.
No, I believe you.
Okay, so here it is. I overhyped it. It's ruined. But here it is. We're talking doom and gloom. Let's talk about boom. You shot some guns today, dude.
I did, man. I did.
But that is very true, and it's a very weird line for a lot of these businesses to have to walk and figure out, and then as they're figuring out more and more, things are coming out to things they have obstacles come up that they have to go around, and it is unfortunate. It is a reality as of right now, but let's get back to the guns.
Yeah, so the guns, and you know, I'm not particularly an expert, but my brother is fairly, you know, he's pretty good. He's been around much more than I have, but through him, most of the things I say, I'm going to be parroting what he says.
Okay.
But yeah, we did do some shooting. My mom had met someone that.
Did your mom go shoot today?
Yeah, she shot it a little bit.
No way. Yeah. Okay, that is very cool.
Yep.
And your dad, the whole fam?
No, my dad didn't go. I don't know. We tried to get him out there.
Your dad's a coach for a local basketball team. If you follow the vlog, you've seen me at the radio station producing some of these Game of the Weeks, and I've covered many of your dad. And we're gonna get back to the guns, but they always speak so highly of him. Like they love him. The Brent and Justin that you hear broadcasting the games.
Yeah, they do, and sometimes the parents don't all the time, but
yeah, well,
that's the
he's a
nature
coach,
of
though, yeah.
that's the nature of
So why
high
wasn't
school
he
basketball
there
in the state.
today?
I don't know, honestly. I got there with a thin margin of error for when we needed to go and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And he was working on something on his laptop. And so,
Okay.
but we were good to go because we just, we traded Jay and Jay, my brother's just, he goes around and just talks guns with people, goes to gun shows.
He's really into guns now?
Yeah, I mean, he's big ever since his stint down south, and he found this guy a county over that had this Russian Saiga, and a Russian Saiga AK. So
okay.
It's a
wow.
It's a Saiga AK 106, I believe is what it is. So it's the same action as like your AK 47.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't even following.
yeah.
Okay, now I see what you're saying.
Yeah, same action. The AK action's used in a lot of different guns like Galil's. Trying to think of what else. Galil gun. It's a different. It's the same kind of premise. They all have the
Galil.
Same kind of like gas block.
You know what that makes me think of?
What?
Ladle.
It does. It is kind of it kind of rolls off the tongue a little. Yeah. It's and that one I think is a Israel gun. Yeah, Israeli gun.
Nice.
Make the Galil.
So,
but
how are you and your family as like a shot? How's your mom, first of all?
I don't even know if we tested her, to be honest.
Did she just shoot randomly?
Yeah, she shot like.
I mean, safely, of course.
Yeah, right. They had a little backstop with like railroad ties.
Oh, so did you guys go to a shooting range?
No, it was just
someone's property.
Yep, someone my mom had known, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they can come out here and shoot." Typical
cool
redneck stuff. So,
not redneck, but so your mom, has she shot guns before?
Yeah, she and my uncle.
I've never heard that brought up, but
yeah. But yeah, so my uncle was really big into guns. That's where I got to shoot the Barrett 50 cal. Was at his house, and that thing surprisingly shoots like butter. Of course, the way he had it set up. I mean, if you got the money to buy a Barrett 50 cal, it's like a $12,000 gun.
Wow.
But if you have the money to buy that, you should probably also have the money to get it set up right so it shoots real nice.
So you're pretty into guns now.
I'm fairly into guns. I haven't like dumped all my money into it or anything like that. We got the one.
It's the new Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, it can be sometimes. What like the way these things work is when the government bans something, the price like shoots up. So that's the thing. Like the Russian Saigas are now.
Well, is it illegal to sell it at that point?
No, not if it came in legally. So, like the Saigas are banned now. They're banned, but because this one was imported before the ban, it's grandfathered in. Just like all the what was it, 86? I think that was the year that they passed the law that outlawed automatic weapons. Wow. And so if the weapon was made and bought in America or imported before that date, it's legal.
Oh, wow. I did not. So it's grandfathered in.
Yep. Oh. And so that's pretty much how all the gun laws work, except for things like the bump stocks and stuff like that. So when they ban those, you do have to turn those in.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Now we'll see. I think there was I haven't checked up on it in a while, but I think there was a court case in Texas that may have actually overturned the ban. So we'll see.
Really?
It's a technicality.
What do you think about Texas these days? It's a really booming spot.
Texas is going to be, I think, a interesting state in the next few years.
Keep talking though, please.
But because it's politically starting to shift a little. So I think it's just going to be an interesting state to see what's happening because there's a lot of blue people that are, running in.
Yes, and that's what I've heard a lot of people saying about like when these areas get flooded is like you gotta leave the ideals or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
From where you came from.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of saw that in Georgia too a little bit. They went blue.
Oh yeah.
In the election, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. And then they elected 2 Democratic senators as well. So, well, I guess they're all Democratic representatives, or you'd hope. But yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like one's the Democratic Party.
I know
and
what you
not.
mean though. No, like I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think Texas is cool. I mean, it's still. I have a hard time believing it'll completely shift culturally. I don't know, but
yeah. Why I brought it up is just because we were talking gun culture, and it kind of made me just think of, like Texas and other southern states, and I wonder exactly kind of what you already touched on. It's like I wonder if Texas is going to change, if Tennessee is going to change, if I was thinking Atlanta, but yeah, of course that's in Georgia. And so, yeah, I was just thinking about that kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean if it goes whatever direction is changing for the worse. It's just, it'll be interesting to see maybe even within our lifetimes, certain cities representing new things. Like, see the cultural shift.
Yeah. Yeah. I
new
mean,
cities and states.
When we visited Nashville, it kind of seems... That's a city it's under. It is a blast. Nashville is dangerous, man.
So Nashville was a blast, and that was when And
we're going back.
Yes, we are. And I first started getting into video editing at that time, and I vlogged. I vlogged that. It's the second time I've hit it, but I vlogged like the whole weekend, not uploading that, but.
Yeah, not if any of us want to run for office.
Yeah, but nothing like too crazy. Just so much dumb. Some clips of that could make the channel. There is some pretty funny stuff, but
yes,
that once I did that weekend, I was like, I've got to start doing this. Like that was so much fun to me, putting together all that stuff, and
at least even for just posterity for yourself.
Yeah,
And that's part of the reason why I got a camera was because I kind of realized I hadn't
Have I even addressed this?
Documented my life.
I'm recording on Grant's camera right now.
We're testing it out.
He brought it over. I was like, does it look nice? He was like, yeah, it should. I was like, set it up.
Yeah, never shot video, so here's the hoping, I guess. But it looks like it's working. So
no, I think we're good. But yeah. So yeah, we did go to Nashville. And back to what we were saying is... What were you saying? Like, we were talking about things changing culturally, and then you brought up Nashville. Where were you going with that?
Well, it seems like, Nashville historically is, a big kind of country city. And
yes, yeah.
You wouldn't think it would be a hot spot for younger people in today's era of the country, but it is. I mean, that's the reality of it. It's booming. Yeah. There's a lot of construction. Nashville is probably seeing more growth than... I would say most cities. Maybe Austin, Texas is
probably both of them. That's why I brought it. That's why I thought of those two.
Those are kind of mirrored in that kind of like realm, And but Nashville's it's an interesting city with that dichotomy of the old guard, kind of like the Grand Ole Opry and country music history is very very reverent about that kind of stuff. They revere country music there, but.
And we actually have a friend who is a publicist, right? She PR publicist. Is that the one?
Yeah. I think she does work in there. Yeah,
she does. She works that in Nashville and has met all kinds of cool people and cool experiences. Just seems like really cool spots. And to tie it back together again. I was just thinking of that because of some of this is my like little theory, and I don't even think it's like controversial. Like I just think with all the restrictions going on like in California with production, it just naturally makes sense that people are going elsewhere to shoot things.
Yeah, there's no income tax in Tennessee.
Too, that's a
and
big
same thing
thing.
in Texas, I believe. So,
Mhm.
at the state level,
I don't
you still,
understand all the taxes, but yeah, I do
yeah.
believe that's
I mean,
true.
you're still gonna pay your federal, which
Yeah,
is the largest portion, but
Mhm.
I mean, it's nice not to pay anymore on
Yeah.
the state. Now maybe they make it up in sales tax. I don't know.
Exactly. That's why I said I don't know. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
But do you follow the Pauls at all? Jake Paul, Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, vaguely.
Okay.
Right. I mean, you can't avoid it at this point, right?
Dude, oh my gosh, they crack me up. And on one of their podcasts, him and Logan and Jake reminded me of you and Jay. Like, it was just so funny the way that, like, it made me laugh so hard. But anyway, what I was gonna say is, one, do you think he came out yesterday and said, or maybe 2 days ago, whatever, like, where he's like, I am for sure knocking out Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, all right.
Why do you feel about
That's
this?
not happening.
Yeah. You don't think so?
No, that's not happening.
What about the fact that he's a lot
if
bigger?
Manny Pacquiao couldn't knock out Floyd Mayweather, there's no way that Jake Paul is going to do it.
I am not. A lot of people say this stuff is just fake. Like, I'm not gonna go that far, but this is like crazy. How I don't. And again, I don't think it's fake. It's just like how they're able to demand attention is wild.
Yeah.
Did you see the video of Jake talking to Connor? I think before the Ben Askren fight.
To McGregor?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
He like read him a poem type thing. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And they're so good at trolling, especially Jake.
They are. They know how to get
I
right.
didn't buy the last fight.
Yeah.
Dude, guess what? Buying the next one.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's legitimately good entertainment because if you like Jake Paul,
yeah,
you want to watch it. And if you don't like Jake Paul, you
He's
get to watch
also-
someone beat him up.
Dude,
I mean, you can't lose there.
Exactly, and that's why there's so much attraction to the guy who is the troll.
Right. Exactly.
And I don't even know if he's done this yet, but he's got a straight up set up for a spike for a straight slamma-jamma, dunk, whatever we want to call it. If he just starts calling out rappers that are gangster, dude, they say no.
Step in the ring.
Yeah, what happens then? What happens if they say no to the YouTuber?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
the white bread
he could
YouTuber.
call out, and he probably has, honestly, but like he could start calling out, like, imagine he called out Gucci.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. I would watch a Gucci.
I feel like Gucci would,
Jake Paul fight. That would be. Oh yeah.
I would love to see.
That's a
Gucci
celebrity fight I can get behind.
Yeah,
100%.
but like or like whoever, like 6ix9ine or just like, whoever.
That'd be a good
Insert
one
whatever
too.
gangster
6ix9ine and Jake Paul.
NBA,
That's a
Youngboy,
lot of
like,
trolling
whatever.
in one ring.
I know that would
be.
That would be the world's highest pay-per-view. That's it. That's it. It's over.
That is. There you go.
But he was saying he was gonna knock in this poem thing. He was saying that he was gonna knock out McGregor, and it was just like, wow, these kids. And then out for a minute there, I do follow them a little bit. I was like, wow, like Jake's going about this better. Like he's being a little bit humble. Like maybe not humble, but like not just being like outward. And then shocked me. And of course I clicked on it as soon as I saw it. He was just saying he was going to knock him out. I was like, wow, this is going to be huge.
That would be interesting fight. Probably more interesting than the Mayweather fight just because McGregor wouldn't hold back.
I've heard people say, Paul's like walking around at 200 or whatever, and I don't know how much Mayweather weighs. Let's give it a quick goog. But
yeah, I want to say he was middleweight, so he's probably 155, 160.
Okay, so like the thing is though, people are saying he's so much bigger. What happens if he hits him? Dude, he's not going to hit him. Like, it's not even a thing. Like, how many times has Floyd been legit hit?
No, and see, that's the thing. When I saw that fight was coming up, I think I made a comment. I'm like, I'd almost bet he's 150, McGregor.
Yeah. So he's got 50 pounds on him. But he's not.
He's got a lot of power, though.
And Jake, not Jake, I'm sorry, Logan, like, those guys... It looks like they legit train and all that, but, like...
Yeah.
Pacquiao...
Right.
Couldn't get him.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a little different when you pick it up and you're even your late or early 20s. I mean,
Yeah.
you're still really young, but it's a lot different than Floyd Mayweather. He was boxing since he was 7. You know,
you
his dad
imagine?
was a boxer. You know, he's got a pedigree of
Right.
of boxing.
That's true. It
Behind
is
him,
true.
you know, it's just it's a
His
little
whole
different.
life. Yeah. But can you imagine, like, this is what the internet is now, people. So, like, it's like, okay, like, you know, we've been doing vlogs, okay. And I'm not even, and, like, they've been doing vlogs, they've been doing podcasts. Let's start calling people out to fight. Like, TikTokers and David Dobrik and vloggers are literally giving, oh my gosh, giving people money. And we got fighters or celebrities becoming fighters. Where is this gonna go? You know what would have
You
actually?
get Trump in the ring though.
I was going there. You know what would have sold the most tickets ever? Like, forget Jake Paul.
Trump Biden.
Yes, forget Jake Paul and 6ix9ine.
I would have watched.
Might as well. Might as well, dude. If I'll tell you what, and I'm not even joking. If Jake Paul knocks out Ben Askren, and if I'm sorry, no, yeah, and if Logan Paul even knocks out Mayweather, they have a chance for office in 2024.
They could, man. They could potentially run on office for that. You know, it's
Even
like,
if
hey, if
they're
he could
not
beat
old enough.
Mayweather, what can he not do?
The thing is, I've been thinking about this a lot. Something that Logan has to do to determine whether he wins the fight or not by the public. He's not going to win. He has to accept that. He has to say, I'm going to hit your chin 4 times.
Yeah, no,
He has to, like, call something out like that.
I
Like,
agree. Because
yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, I'd be shocked if he really
Because
lands a
points-wise, he's
connected
not going
punch.
to win.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, Mayweather, you know, till the cows come home, will dodge anyone trying to punch him. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, Pacquiao landed probably less than like 30% or something. You know, it's just something crazy. And so I'd be shocked if Logan gets
even when
40 punches on him.
When one of the best strikers in the UFC went against him, he landed 1/8 of hit, not strikes, but connections, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Or significant strikes or whatever that Mayweather.
Powder swings, haymakers.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But imagine if it does get to that point where it's like, you know, I was gonna vote for insert whatever AOC, but you know she turned down the fight from from Schumer, from Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer called her out and she didn't fight her. How am I gonna vote for that?
Yeah.
Is that America?
Do you want a coward in office?
Yeah, exactly. What if it comes to that point, like I'm about to run for office, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight someone. So that senator from Alabama, he's gonna fight you.
How bad you want it?
And it's gonna
That's what
be
you gotta ask
broadcasted.
yourself. You know?
Oh my gosh. Cut to 4 years later, there's actually a news clip of somebody saying, how could I vote for AOC? She turned down the Amy Schumer fight.
Yeah, unironically. You know, it'll be.
Yeah, like.
It will. I mean, you see it happen with things that are semi-ridiculous. So I mean.
Yeah.
I'll think of an example here in 20 minutes, I'm sure, but right now I don't have one. I wish I did.
It's just, oh man. So, do you listen to any podcasts?
I haven't been recently.
Yeah.
Honestly, the last podcast I listened to was maybe when Trevor was on here.
Oh, nice.
And
Mr. Awesome. Trevor.
Yeah. But yeah, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Third Eye Drops is a good one. I like
What's
listening to that. It's a guy that it's more of like I want to say like a spiritual podcast maybe,
Oh, wow.
but not really so much that. It's just like they just like talk about weird things. So
Okay.
you know, and that's what I like about, you know, the best Joe Rogan episodes are when they have a guy like Alex Jones on there.
Oh
you know,
my
like,
gosh, Alex
stuff
Jones.
like that.
Have you ever heard of Flagrant 2?
I've not. No.
Okay, so it's Andrew Scholes, Akash Singh, and then like Alex Media, Mark Gagnon. Wanted to get everybody in there. But but only 2 of them are on camera, and then you know you got the producers off camera who chime in. But they had Alex Jones on. I'm telling you, I'm putting that up there with the Tim Dillon, Joe Rogan, Alex Jones podcast.
Yeah. That was the one pre-election day, I think.
Yes, it was like the whatever they called it. But like, yeah, it was bonkers. Like, it was wild. And oh my gosh, yeah, imagine like the next Republican guy that runs in 2024. I couldn't vote for him. He turned down Alex Jones' fight.
Yeah, that would be funny. That'd be funny. You know, I think the presidential candidates should start going on the JRE more. Yeah,
that would be fantastic. I'm pretty sure that
maybe throw Alex Jones in there with him. You know, and just
gosh, no, that would have to be two separate things. Like
well,
maybe
gotta,
one debate and then one.
We need to know how the politicians deal with the extremes of society.
That's true. Yeah. We can see how right up front. We'll see how much Twitter explodes, and then we can base. Yeah.
Litmus test it.
I'm pretty sure someone from the Trump organization, when there was that campaign online, through whatever website, change.org, to sign up Joe Rogan to be the mediator for the debates. I think someone was in support of that, but that could be wrong.
That's right. Yeah. No, he did.
He did. He was.
I think he came
that.
out and said.
I would love you're right. Even if it's not, and I said this. Here we are talking politics after I said changing the channel, whatever. But I would think it would be great. Like, forget a time limit, not even a 3-hour podcast. Like, whatever we got to do. Like, we can, like, just hang out for however many hours. Like, what are we talking about? Just talk about it. Just be men in a room, like women in a room.
Right.
Whatever you identify as in a room. And talk about it. Like, that's it.
Yeah. No,
and give us the ability to listen to those conversations that you don't have in these snippets. Like, give us the real deal Holyfield sitting here, whatever. Yeah.
Right, yeah, a little bit less of the polished politician kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, you know, people voted for Trump the first time around. It seemed like, you know, they just were sick and tired of the same stiff up there lying to him. And I get that, you know.
I mean, that's why I voted for Joe Exotic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, and same reason why people voted for Kanye, you know, and same reason why they'll vote for him next time too.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's. I saw.
Oh my gosh! Did you see Will Smith saying he was considering running for office?
Yeah, I mean, why not at this point? You know,
that's how you feel about it.
Yeah, I might even try to get my grandma to run or something. You know? At this point,
you should, dude. Oh my gosh, yeah, I'd vote for her. But like, I don't even know how to feel about it. Like, we're signing Will Smith up.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Well, I mean, I saw last night actually. I saw the South Park episode where they got a vote on the mascot.
South Park's great.
It is, dude. I mean, it is. It's nice because it's really like on point satire. You know.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of educational in a way.
So what happened? Satire's the best.
It is because I mean it helps you digest.
By the way, skit probably coming about turning down fights.
There you go. Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. But yeah, they did. It's where PETA kind of comes in and says, "Oh, they're because their mascot's the cows."
Okay.
At South Park Middle School,
mm-hmm.
So they got to vote on a new mascot because PETA won't let them have. You know, a cow. And so they have to pick between a turd sandwich and a giant douche. And so that's the thing is, you know, and Stan's like, well, I don't want to pick between these two options. So he just says he's not going to vote.
Yeah.
And I think that is like a perfect summation of maybe how 60 to 70% of young people feel
mm-hmm.
When it comes to voting.
You mean just not voting?
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at the two options, it's like, neither of these are any good.
Yeah.
They both suck. You know, none of these people are going to do anything to change the status quo. Yeah. You know, they want to be resistant to change because that's how they got there. You know, like the system worked for them, so why would they change it?
The next time we get options like this past time, I honestly feel like we should start writing in, what was it, turd sandwich?
Yeah, turd sandwich or D's nuts.
I'll write it down. Yeah, D's nuts. Yeah.
I think that actually got votes in the Senate race one time. So.
Yeah, something like that. I do remember seeing that. Yeah, why not? Why not? I mean,
we need something. We need a third. Yeah, we need a third party desperately. I think. So.
Yeah, Trump's about to start one.
Yeah.
See that was satire. Like I'm not for it, but you know.
It would be. Yeah. I mean, it's almost part of the thing that. With all these like
what would he
weird
call
guys
it?
doing.
The Patriot Party? Is that what he said?
Dude. That would be on brand.
And guess what? If you hate the Patriot Party, You hate America.
You do.
Why?
That's right.
Why would you hate America? You can leave. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Exactly.
You like Denmark and their democratic socialism so much. Go.
Yep. Let's shout out
Party.
to August over there.
Oh yeah. Oh, he does live in Denmark.
Yep.
Yeah, you can leave. Why is that the stance?
I don't know, honestly, because, I mean, there is some validity to what people say about how this country was formed on immigrants, It's just the pursuit of freedom, and that's really the most American thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, and I think that gets twisted a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, for example, in my last podcast, I'm just going to say this again. It was deep in the podcast. We're deep in the pod right now. Something that is very interesting to me is that the right and the left are flipped on the topic of social media. The right is wanting it to be considered freedom of speech, therefore you can't ban people. For that to happen, you need government intervention. That's not typical of the right.
Yep.
The left is more in favor of the current terms and conditions of social media. So they want private business there.
Right.
They don't want the government involved. It's kind of not exactly flipped, but it really very much is, and it's just like, so where are we going from here? Like, what's the next thing that's going to be changed? And ultimately what it comes down to is what you said, is the most American pursuit is freedom and pursuit of happiness, of course. Like, why are ideals, like, other than that getting involved?
Right.
It's kind of, but anyway, that's...
No, I agree.
That's my little tangent.
No, and I think that's going to affect us a lot more going forward, because the thing is, people on the left worry about how private corporations can kind of change, how we interact in our day-to-day lives.
Right.
They talk about, like, late-stage capitalism, if you've heard the term. It's just where...
Not really.
It's really just where, the corporations kind of supersede the government in a way. And that's like the big worry of unfettered capitalism, is that you get these mega corporations. Amazon would be the one, right?
Amazon, Facebook.
And you've seen the like dystopian sci-fi movies where it's like, oh, megacorp is evil, and they got robots that roam the streets.
Very
and stuff,
1984.
Right? And also they're talking about Amazon is. You see a box over here for Amazon,
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, you have to. I order on Amazon all the time.
And the other thing, I saw this thing where Amazon, now you can sign up for it because of the amount of, like, package thefts, whatever you'd say. They can get this thing to put it in your garage. Wow.
That's interesting. Like a little key that only they have.
Yes, and you have to sign up for, or something like this. I remember seeing an article about it. So this to me is very interesting because, like, if you hear that now, you're like, oh, wow, that's great. And it is great because, I'm sure it will cut down on package robbery, like any of that type of thing happening. But, like, another thing is, like, okay, let's say it's 2005. I come to you. Hey, man, there's this cool website. They'll send you anything the next day. I swear. And they're going to put it in your garage for you. Oh, that's cool. Wait, what? They're going to do what? Yeah, they're going to put it in your garage. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
They'll drop it on
How
your
do they
tree.
get in there?
Like
you sign up for it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, they also got this thing in there. And I'm not even conspiratorial. Like, it's just, like, hilarious. It just, you also have to consider it in these terms. I have an Alexa out there. I'm not saying I don't, but, like, yeah, they also have this thing that, like, you interact with, like, and can maybe pitch things to you with your shopping habits and blah, blah. It's like, but it wasn't pitched to us like that.
Right, yeah, it was pitched as like a life enhancer kind of.
Well, and very slowly.
Yeah.
Very, very slowly. Not very, but over the, but like, not like all at once, rather, is a better way of saying it. Like, it's not like Alexa came out and then the same week they were like, hey, also, we're going to start putting packages in the garage for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I'm still waiting on the drone drops, man. That's what I thought.
That is crazy.
They were saying that was going to happen. I don't know. I've
seen a couple of YouTube videos of people messing around, like doing a DoorDash delivery like that. Like they're a DoorDash driver.
Really?
Yeah, and then
See, people are very suspect of drones, right?
I know,
And
yeah.
rightfully so, because it's you can't see the face, so you can't really verify.
That's the
who's
scary
behind it,
part.
right?
Who's watching me? Yeah.
And the obvious use for surveillance and stuff like that, which is going back to what we were saying about the private companies and social media. They're starting to garner or gate off like more aspects of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So while it is like you want private industry to be able to kind of do what they want to do unregulated, or you might if you're aligned with how I think.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you can see how that could be abused to like get an agenda, to get their agenda through.
Yeah, I agree. We gotta shut them down at some point, but not quite yet because I just bought Amazon and Tesla stock.
Yeah, I know. We need that to run a little farther.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's no doubt.
But
So
yeah, no. It's an interesting discussion, and geez. By the way, something I just thought of: dog talk. Do you have a dog right now?
I personally don't. My parents do.
Really? What do they have?
They have. It's another Bichon poodle. So it's like the
Bichon.
Yep, Bichon poodle.
Oh, that's a type of poodle. Okay.
Well, no, I think it's
a
like
mix?
a cross. Yeah.
Okay.
I think a Bichon Frise is what it's called.
That sounds like a very cool name.
Yeah, and it's one of those like little, like.
What's up, Bichon
Fluffy
Frise?
little, yeah, it is kind of breeds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. But it's one of those like kind of lap dog breeds. The Bichons are really small, and then
Oh, okay.
the poodle is like, she's about as big as Finn up there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, more or less, and that's as big as she'll be.
Oh, cool.
So,
Love that size dog. They're kind of like a forever pup. Are you gonna get a dog?
I want one, but
What
I
kind?
know better.
You know better. What's that mean?
Well, because like right now it's just, I don't have a good place.
Okay,
I'm
fair.
in a kind of more dense area, and
What are you thinking of though when you are able to?
I had like a big old Rottweiler.
Nice.
I
I'm
would.
wanting a Doberman.
Yeah, I would love a big Rott or like a German Shepherd,
Yeah.
something like that. I just like I like the size. Yeah.
It's super cool, and I've always grown up with small dogs. I know you had a lab growing up as well.
Yeah.
And then Summer, I love her brother's dog. His name is Taz, and I'm sure I've talked about him before. But he's a Doberman German Shepherd mix, and that sucker is huge. He is a big old boy, and
those are big dogs.
Yeah.
And they're mobile too.
yes,
Which makes them.
he's so fast. I was telling someone, I took a video, like just a Snapchat. I threw the ball for him and Oki, and Oki's so quick, and Taz is a little bit like, he's not as coordinated, so he falls down more, but it's super cute and it's hilarious. But Oki's a lot more coordinated, and he's just better at fetch, and I think it's just more like in his genes, and they're more working dogs. They're not meant to fetch probably as much. But and Taz also isn't that interested in playing fetch. But anyway, I threw it and had them run at the same time. It legit looked like I turned on a speed up. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that is wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Some of those
wild.
dogs are, they have some get.
Not Oki, by the way.
Yeah.
Taz, like the
Yeah.
big dog. Yeah.
Yeah. My lab was not like that. She had a little speed, but it wasn't.
Pearly girl.
Pearl was.
She was sweet.
Yeah, she was. She was pretty big actually.
She was a
had
big
little
old
bit
dog.
of
Yeah.
Newfoundland in her, I think too.
Oh really?
Because the people down the street got her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah, I remember
he
that.
Was massive.
By the way,
That was a
the
big
person
dog.
he's saying down the street, it was the dog's name was Patrick.
Yep.
And then the person, Jay Leaf, he made the beat that plays at the beginning, the end of all episodes, actually.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good old Jay Leaf, man. I was just talking to him yesterday or maybe today. I don't know. It all runs together now. But,
Yeah. He's out here. He's producing.
Yeah, he
doing
is,
well.
man. I actually kind of got to look at what he's got set up there, so
Mhm.
it's pretty cool. I mean, again, it's like what you're doing here. You
Yeah.
guys are attacking what you want to
Yeah.
do, and that's
Yeah.
always good. if you like it, then it's a good thing.
Yes.
As long as it's not like a super negative. So, you know.
Yeah, do what you want.
You got to feel the line out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, man, thanks for coming on. This has been great. This has been a interesting discussion we had.
Yeah. I'm glad I could kind of dip my toes into this kind of thing.
The podcast
It was interesting.
world.
Yeah, it's I listen to them every now and then, and I'm glad to see what it's like behind the scenes.
It is
It's pretty
cool.
interesting.
Here, I'm gonna zoom into you. Just tell the people a little something like real quick, and then it's over.
Okay.
Crawling out awkward. Yeah.
You tell me when you're ready.
Oh no, dude, it's not recording right now, so maybe it cut off.
No way. Did it?
Maybe. How do I check the footage?